Good afternoon, fellow YouTubers. It's Kenneth Powers, and we're back here for part 2 of my DVD Blu-ray Update 2021 edition. Let's continue. Up next, we got the 2005 DVD release of The Dukes of Hazzard, the movie, starring Johnny Knoxville, Sean William Scott, and Jessica Simpson. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Burt Reynolds, Joe Don Baker, with Linda Carter and Willie Nelson. Directed by J. Chandrasekhar. The film itself is from 2005, rated PG-13, and runs 104 minutes. Up next is Up next we have The Color of Money, starring Paul Newman and Tom Cruise. Superbly shot, brilliantly scored, acted to near perfection, says Newsweek magazine. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio and Helen Shaver. Directed by Martin Scorsese. The film itself is from 1986. Rated R and runs 118 minutes. Up next is the 2007 DVD release of The Bucket List, starring Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Sean Hayes and Rob Morrow. Directed by Rob Reiner. The film itself is from 2007. Rated PG-13 and runs 97 minutes. This is a French-Canadian copy, and this DVD was actually released in 2008. Up next is the 2005 DVD release of The Poseidon Adventure, starring Gene Hackman, Ernest Borgnine, Red Buttons, Carol Lindley, Roddy McDowell, Stella Stevens, and Shelley Winters. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Co-starring Jack Albertson, Pamela Sue Martin, Arthur O'Connell, Eric Shea, and Leslie Nielsen. Directed by Irwin Allen. No, directed by Ronald Neame. The film itself is from 1972, rated PG, and runs 117 minutes. Up next is the 2008 DVD release of Van Helsing, starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Richard Roxburgh, David Wenham, Will Kemp, Kevin J. O'Connor, and Sheila Hensley. Directed by Stephen Sommers. The film itself is from 2003, rated PG-13, and runs 2 hours and 12 minutes. Up next is the 2015 DVD release of Focus, starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Rodrigo Santoro, Gerald McGraney. Directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa. The film itself is from 2014. rated R, and runs 105 minutes. Up next is the 2011 DVD release of Hereafter, starring Matt Damon. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Masterfully directed by Clint Eastwood, Matt Damon is superb, says Claudia Puig of USA Today. Also starring Cecile DeFrance. Directed by Clint Eastwood, the film itself is from 2010. Rated PG-13 and runs 129 minutes. Up next, we have a John Wayne 4 film pack featuring The Shootist, El Dorado, The Searchers, and The Sons of Katie Elder. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. The Shootist also stars Lauren Bacall, Ron Howard, Bill McKinney, James Stewart, Richard Boone, and John Carradine, Scatman Carruthers, Richard Lenz, Harry Morgan, Shirley North, and Hugh O'Brien. Directed by Don Siegel. The film itself is from 1976. Rated PG and runs 98 minutes. El Dorado also stars Robert Mitchum, James Caan, Charlene Holt, Paul Fix, Arthur Honeycutt, and Michelle Carey, directed by Howard Hawks. The film itself is from 1966, unrated, and runs 126 minutes. The Searchers also stars Jeffrey Hunter, Vera Miles, Ward Bond, and Natalie Wood, directed by John Ford. The film itself is from 1956, unrated, and runs 119 minutes. And The Sons of Katie Elder also stars Dean Martin, Martha Heyer, Michael Anderson Jr., Earl Holliman, and Jeremy Slate. Directed by Henry Hathaway. The film itself is from 1965, unrated, and runs 121 minutes. Up next, we have a John Wayne 3 Adventure 3-pack featuring Donovan's Reef, Hatari, and In Harm's Way. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Donovan's Reef also stars Lee Marvin, Elizabeth Allen, Jack Warden, Cesar Romero, Dick Foran, and Timothy Lamore. Directed by John Ford. The film itself is from 1963, unrated, and runs 108 minutes. Hatari also stars Hardy Kruger, Elsa Martinelli, Red Buttons, and Gerard Blaine. The film itself is, it's directed by Howard Hawks. The film itself is from 1962 actually, unrated, and runs 157 minutes. And In Harm's Way also stars Kirk Douglas, Patricia Neal, Tom Tryon, Paula Prentice, Brandon DeWild, Jill Hayworth, Diana Andrews, and Henry Fonda. Also starring Stanley Holloway, Burgess Meredith, Franco Tone, Patrick O'Neill, Carol O'Connor, Slim Pickens, James Mitchum, George Kennedy, Bruce Cabot, and Donna Buchette. Directed by Otto Preminger. The film itself is from 1965, unrated, and runs 167 minutes. Up next is another John Wayne 3-pack. It's John Wayne Western 3-pack featuring The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, The Sons of Katie Elder, and The Shootist. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. I already did two of these when I did the John Wayne 4-pack, so I'm not going to go over it again. But The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance also stars Vera Miles, Leah Marvin, Edmund O'Brien, Andy Devine, Ken Murray, directed by John Ford. The film itself is from 1962, unrated, and runs 123 minutes. Up next is the (2003) DVD release of Just a Kiss, starring Ty Diggs, Ron Elder, Kira Sedgwick, Marley Shelton, Marissa Tomei. Dares to be Different, a stylized comedy with magical flights of fantasy, says New York Magazine. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. A trippy, absurdist tale of interlocking love triangles and sex, says Robert K. Elder of Chicago Tribune. Directed by Fisher Stevens, the film itself is from 2002, rated R, and runs 90 minutes. Up next we have Cool Runnings. Rocky on Ice, says ABC TV. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Inspiring, heartwarming, and very, very funny, says CBS Radio Los Angeles. Starring Leon, Dougie Doug, Raoul D. Lewis, Malik Yoba, and John Candy. Directed by John Turteltaub. The film itself is from 1993, rated PG, and runs 98 minutes. Up next is the 2003 DVD release of Yankee Doodle Dandy, starring Joan Leslie, Walter Houston, Richard Wharf, and James Cagney. Directed by Michael Curtis. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Francis Langford, George Tobias, Irene Manning, with Joan Leslie. Oh, I read that one already. Directed by Michael Curtis. The film itself is from 1942. Unrated, it runs 125 minutes. Up next is the 2011 DVD release of True Grit starring John Wayne, Glenn Campbell, and Kim Darby. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Jeremy Slate, Robert Duvall, and Strother Martin. Directed by Henry Hathaway. The film itself is from 1969, rated G, and runs 127 minutes. Up next is the 2000 DVD release of Battlefield Earth, starring John Travolta. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Great scene transitions and some of the better special effects of the year. The film was fast, furious, and just a good old time at theaters, says Jabla's Movie Emporium. Also starring Barry Pepper, Forrest Whitaker, and Kim Coates, Richard Tyson, and Sabine Carcenti. Directed by Roger Christian. The film itself is from 2000, rated PG-13, and runs 119 minutes. Up next is the 2004 DVD release of the Buddy Holly story, starring Gary Busey, Don Stroud, and Charles Martin Smith. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Co-starring Conrad Janis and William Jordan, directed by Steve Rash. The film itself is from 1978, rated PG, and runs 114 minutes. Up next is the (2006) DVD release of Aeon Flux, starring Charlize Theron. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Martin Sokus, Johnny Lee Miller, Sophia Okonedo, Pete Postlewaite, and Frances McDormand. Directed by Karen Kusama. The film itself is from 2005, rated PG-13, and runs 92 minutes. Up next is the 2006 DVD release of Miami Vice, starring Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Gong Li, Naomi Harris, Ciaran Hinds, Justin Theroux, Barry Shabaka Henley, Louis Tosar, directed by Michael Mann. The film itself is unrated. It's from 2006. This is the unrated version, and runs 2 hours and 20 minutes. We got two more left. Up next is the 2006 DVD release of Firewall, starring Harrison Ford and Paul Bettany. Outstanding, a taut, intelligent action thriller, says Jim Ferguson of ABC TV. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Hugely entertaining and exciting, says Paul Fisher of DarkHorizons.com. Also starring Virginia Madsen, Mary Lynn Raskub, Robert Patrick, with Robert Forster and Alan Arkin. Directed by Richard Loncraine. The film itself is from 2006, rated PG-13 and runs 105 minutes. And last but not least for this video is the 2001 DVD release of Marathon Man, starring Dustin Hoffman, Laurence Olivier, Roy Scheider, and William Devane. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Martha Keller, directed by Michael Small. No, directed by John Schlesinger. The film itself is from 1976, rated R, and runs 125 minutes. Well, we're going to stop right there, and we'll pick up where we left off at in part 3. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you again in my next video. Bye-bye, take care.